The three tests. Test number 1. The overt narcissist. It says they're in love with you. And so one day, after their idealization of you is so incredible, you say, well, what is it that you love about me? And they say, well, because you treat me like a queen or a king. Because it's obvious that you love and adore me. Because you treat me so well and love and adore me. And then you say, well, yeah, but what do you love about me as a person? And they say, well, because you love and adore me, and it's obviously you treat me like a queen. So finally, you just have to repeat it again. But yeah, but what do you love about me? And then they might say, well, when they finally grasp what you're even trying to talk about, they may say something like, well, you know, you're handsome, you're intelligent, you're really smart, or whatever. And they finally say something about why you're such a lovable person. Or they may say that you're sweet, when translated means that you're nice to them and they like it. They may even ask you if you worship them. I've actually had that happen. Well, anyway, such obvious answers are the obvious overt narcissist. When you finally get discarded and you learn about narcissism, you think you're okay, but then test number 2 comes. Test number 2 is the covert narcissist, which is going to take a longer time to figure out because I define them as people who hide behind their good deeds to manipulate people and obtain their narcissistic supply. So they take longer to figure out, and they're very good at turning everybody else against you. And they're really nasty at triangulation. So then you figure, well, this is something called a covert narcissist. So that's test number 2. Surely I'm okay. I passed test number 2. Well, guess what? There's test number 3. You want to know what test number 3 is? Test number 3 is the cluster B personality disordered person. Rather they be narcissistic personality disorder, histrionic, borderline, whatever. Test number 3 is the cluster B disordered person who thinks they are the victim of narcissists and are narcissistic survivors themselves. Now, indeed, they may be victims of other cluster Bs or narcissists. I don't doubt the possibility of that. That can happen. But notice these are people who think they're empathic or think they're normal or think that they're narcissism survivors themselves, but they are in fact cluster B disordered people that will try to entangle you, get you to feel sorry for them, get you to help them. That will train you to walk on eggshells and subtly insult you and love bomb you and push against your boundaries. But if you got good boundaries, you know what? The cluster B who thinks they're a survivor of narcissistic abuse, guess what? They can't hook you. They can't pull you in. Those are the 3 tests. The overt, the covert, and the cluster B who thinks, because they're of course never to be blamed for anything, who thinks they are the survivors of narcissistic abuse. Very interesting. Those are the 3 tests. Can you have sympathy for them still? Yes, you can, of course. But those are the 3 tests, and you have to pass all 3 of those tests if you're going to be free of narcissistic abuse yourself.